Well, it's time. College football kicks off on Saturday, bro.
Week
It kicks
zero,
off
baby.
Saturday.
We
What?
finally made it.
We are
We
here.
finally
We
made
have a cannon.
The first game of the day will be Iowa State versus Kansas State. Yes, it's probably mid, but Iowa State is ranked, and
They're nice, man.
Kansas State always plays Iowa State tough. So it's going to be a good game. I know it doesn't have the name value like Alabama or Oregon or Ohio State, but this game is going to be something to watch for sure. I'm trying to tell you. So we got our top 25 already right here. We'll have that, and we'll be talking about all of the matchups that we can, that we're excited to see. So, what opens your eyes Saturday? Obviously, the first game of the day for me. Kansas State is ranked, so that's
Yeah,
going to
this
be
is
even
ranked. I
better.
was gonna say they're
Yeah,
nice.
Kansas State is ranked, so that's even better. So,
So both of them need set tempo, is what I'm hearing.
yeah, so Iowa State, Kansas State is the
Kansas
favorite
State's ranked
game that
higher
I'm
too.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yep, that's the game that I'll be in tune to watch. So,
Give me Iowa State.
Really?
There's I mean, maybe it's just because I have a soft spot. There's a world where if I had maybe a little bit more money in my pocket in high school, that I could have went and paid to be a Cyclone in terms of
Okay.
tuition.
I
I
like
got
that.
in. I thought about it, but I opted to stay closer to home and save more money. But the disregard, obviously, still love my Warhawks, but I was almost a Cyclone, so I guess I'll take them as my imaginary alma mater.
I like that. I
Yeah,
take San
I
Diego
like
State.
Iowa. I also wanted to go to San Diego State. That would have been so sick. Maybe in
Oh my
another
gosh,
life. But
it's beautiful.
I'm riding Iowa State here. I look at the quarterback matchup more specifically. Both defenses last year were kind of middle of the road. Both offenses in general last year were a little middle of the road, a little more so Kansas State than Iowa State. Iowa State was a little more upper echelon of college football. But I look at Rocco Becht head to head against Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson last year was a guy first full year as a starter, 1 year removed from Will Howard after he went to Ohio State. And Avery Johnson is a guy that I thought maybe in a few years from now, and I think he still can be next year in 2 seasons, be a Heisman candidate in the FBS. Last year, 25 or 2,700 yards through the air. He did have 600 yards on the ground, and we've known him as more of a dual threat, but the interceptions were a problem. There were some issues with him getting the ball cleanly through the air to his players. Rocco Becht also had 9 interceptions, but Becht 3,500 yards, still 25 touchdowns, 8 average yards per attempt. Yards per completion was at 13 for the second straight year in a row. I look at Rocco Becht as a sneaky underdog Heisman candidate this year, and I think
Oh
if they
wow.
can start off this season with a big win overseas in the Aer Lingus Classic against Kansas State, that's just a step in the right direction for Rocco Becht. I think this guy is going to be an interesting prospect to talk about come draft time next year. He looks to me like a very polished quarterback, and I think he could be a sneaky Heisman guy.
Look, I got key factors I want you guys to watch in this game. I think I'm an edge towards Iowa State a little bit, but I can't let you guys sleep on Kansas State very much. Okay, I wrote this down. Okay, Iowa State, they got interior line. It's kind of unsettled right now. They got a little competition with Baird, Black, and Boniface. I don't know if I said that right. So their performance will determine whether the Cyclones can stay physically balanced because their O line is very well. They can put that O line together, man. I promise you, they have a very good O line. Now, Kansas State's Dylan Edwards. I want everybody to know this. Okay, after a breakout bowl performance last year, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, kind of will be essential to testing Iowa State's run defense. Okay, now the run defense, Iowa State, I don't think they're. I don't remember where they were ranked last year in run defense. I don't think they were that great. But if Iowa State can't stop the run because Kansas State's very good at that, I mean, what says that they're going to win the game? Okay. Now defensive matchups, Iowa State's. I think Dominique Orange, he could be vital in disrupting this run game. And hopefully he is. And Kansas State's linebacker Austin Romaine anchors he has a good upfront balance to the linebacker position that could stop Iowa State. Now I think Iowa State will pull it off because they have an overall better balanced team. And historically, Iowa State leads the series 54, 50-4. So this could go either way. Okay, I'm gonna go Iowa State though. It's gonna be a classic game. Week 0. I mean, it might come down to the wire because both defenses are pretty well put together. And as you were saying, Sam, Avery Johnson, I mean, he's a dual threat quarterback. He can sling it left and right, up and down the field. But Iowa State has the lead pass defense and they have returning key starters under Coach Campbell. So home field, I think it's neutral, right? Or no? Is it a neutral
This is
site?
neutral site. This is over in Dublin. Remember last year, Georgia
Right.
Tech, Florida State. This is that game.
Okay, right.
Which that game started me off watching a little bit too much ACC football last year. So this might be the year I really follow closely to the Big 12, which would be I'd be fine with.
I
It's still
followed
a
the
good
Big 12
conference.
a lot last year, man. Big 12
even
really
without
entertaining.
even without Texas and Oklahoma, that's still a good conference to follow. It's gonna be a fun one to watch for sure. I struggle thinking Kansas State had a solid recruiting class this year. They brought in Lincoln Cure, 5-star tight end, #1 nationally ranked tight end. That just gives another weapon to Avery Johnson. Doesn't sound like he's the greatest in run blocking scheme, which I mean he doesn't really need to be a joker. He's 19 years old. He's got a lot of time to learn. This kid's like glue. Everything you throw at him, he's gonna stick with it. It's gonna be a good matchup. This is going to be a good matchup overall. We just got to be glad that we finally have football that matters again this Saturday. There's finally football that means something. I'm so excited.
If Iowa's line defense holds firm, I think they win this pretty easily. But like you said, this is a football game that matters finally. So we could see both teams just go at it. You know what I mean? So it could come down to the wire. It could be a thriller. We never know. Kansas State could pull it off if momentum at the quarterback position pulls off. I think this, college football it's exciting to watch, man. You got new faces every year, so it's fun to keep track of everybody and see what's going on. And I think Iowa State is going to be a sleeper team this year. I think they really got a very good overall balanced team. But this is their first test, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do against this Kansas State University team because this is a good test. This is a really good test to begin the season. So
Kansas State is a terrific ground game team too. I mean, we talked about it with Avery Johnson, but we forgetting Dylan Edwards here. I mean, this guy rushed for almost 200 yards in their bowl game last year, 2 touchdowns, only 18 carries. He had 546 yards in the season last year, but only 74 carries for 576 yards. That's almost 7.5 yards per carry, which is ridiculous.
If Dylan Edwards can go off like that again, I mean, who's saying they can't win this game? Dude, 200 yards in a bowl game, breakout game, by the way. Like you said, 74 carries. I can see Kansas State taking that if they get that run game going, dude. It could that D tackle that I was talking about, Dominique Orange on Iowa State. He's gonna have a big game, especially up the middle. So,
and the books here too. We'll just look at these quick. The books have this as a pretty high scoring affair, a middle of the road to higher scoring at 50.5. I feel like this could be a shootout. It leans more shootout than it does defensive standoff. So I would prefer the over on that. 50.5 points. They're predicting a fairly high scoring game. Kansas State currently the 3-point favorites right now. Yep. I think that's a little disrespectful. I really think Iowa State's the better team here. Kansas State's got the better ranking to start the year, better recruiting class this season. But the defenses were both middle of the road last year, middle of the pack. Kansas State the favorite in the money line as well. That game is going to be on ESPN. I will be watching that contest front to back. That's going to be a fun one to watch. But there are more games going on.
I think they're winning because Avery Johnson's going to be very, very good. But yeah, more games going on. What do we got?
Total.
We got UNLV versus Idaho State, not Iowa. Kansas or Fresno at Kansas. Sam Houston at Western Kentucky, and Stanford at Hawaii. I really want Stanford to be good. I don't know why. I don't think they will be this year, but I really want them to be good for some reason. I think they could be. But
they lost Eli Manor to the NFL draft. He was an outstanding wide receiver for that offense. Yeah. So losing him, that's going to sting a little bit. But they are playing a pretty easy layup game against Hawaii to start the year. Hawaii has had a great program since they are favored, but it's still a layup. They're both pretty rough teams. They haven't been great since Colt Brennan was their quarterback way back in the day. Stanford staying out on the West Coast, thank God, because geography be damned in college football. But I think there's going to be some entertainment here too. There's not The Idaho State UNLV might be a snoozer. Kansas is
and
another team to
Fresno is a
watch
good
this year.
game. Yeah, that's a good
Kansas
game.
is going to be a
They just
fun
completed a new
team to
stadium.
watch.
Yeah, they got a new stadium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good
They
game.
do.
Kansas.
Yep.
I think Kansas will win that by like 3 touchdowns. But Fresno, they were not a team like a bad team last year. They just had a lot of controversy with the quarterback wanting to leave, I believe, something like that, right? And it was just the coaches were just bad last year with the players. But Fresno could put up some good numbers here on kind of a weaker Kansas defense, but they are
We're
a
also
better overall team.
what I'm also thinking is we're going to put together a poll to see who all wants to, like our subscribers or our followers. We're really pretty much the same thing. If they want to see us live on a podcast on Saturday nights to watch a primetime game or on Sunday to watch a primetime game. So we'll put that out there. So since the football season is back and they only play once a week. So it's hard
Just
to
a
do that with
little
basketball.
tangent too. Just
Right.
real quick. Do we know if there's any podcasts out there that pick every single FBS game for the entire season?
Probably
I
not.
don't know.
Do we want to?
But we could
do
be
we
the
want
one.
to- we could be the one to pick every single FBS game. I think we should do it. Let's just do it.
I say,
Screw
hey,
it.
that's-
Division 3 schedule prediction.
Let's go. Not D3, no, just
We can do
D1.
D3.
like
we
low
know
D1,
D3 fairly
D3
well. We at least
might
know
be
the
easier
WEAC pretty
for us,
well.
to be
like Drake
honest.
University and shit.
Whitewater goes
Yeah.
undefeated.
I hope.
Yeah. They will not go undefeated with that.
Man,
Absolutely not. They probably had the best years behind them now. But
should I just do
hopefully
it
they got
just
somebody
every
up there.
week with almost no knowledge of the game?
You should.
I-
We have a segment
I've seen
every
the
week
best.
for Drew Best.
I'll just
FBS.
pick every single game.
Drew Best FBS. Let's do it.
Yes,
All right.
we can have
Well,
Drew come on or pick a random day and he'll be able to pick every single FBS.
We're
game.
gonna start Sunday night pods very soon with football. So after NFL football games, we're gonna have FBS with Drew Best.
all right. Yes. I have very limited knowledge
FBS with
of
Drew
college
Best. I
football
like
in terms
it.
of who's on what team, but I think that I do fine for the most part.